Oh, happy Thursday and welcome to the Midday. I'm Melanie Lawson and this is your news update. In its final day of decisions, the Supreme Court has ruled President Trump must turn over his financial records. That, of course, includes his taxes. In a 7-2 opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote, quote, "The president is not immune from state criminal subpoenas seeking his private papers, nor entitled to a heightened standard of need." Now, the court gave President Trump the chance to, quote, raise further arguments in a lower court, which of course means the legal battles will no doubt continue. Democrats in Congress and prosecutors in New York want to see the president's records to see whether or not there's any foreign influence over the Trump family businesses. Another big question is whether hush money payments to two women who claim they had affairs with the president may have violated any campaign laws. Well, Trump called the efforts to gain his financial information, quote, a political prosecution in a tweet that came out after the rulings. Again, this was 7-2, which means several of the conservative judges voted in the majority. Well, the search is underway for Glee star Naya Rivera. She vanished during a boating trip with her young son on a lake near Los Angeles. Authorities say Rivera rented a boat with her 4-year-old son yesterday, and they went out on the water together. Well, 3 hours later, another boater found that boat drifting with the child asleep on board, but no sign of Rivera. The child could only say they went swimming, and his mother did not get back on the boat. Now, remember, he's only 4. He is now with relatives. Rivera was best known for her role as Santana on the show Glee. She also appeared in Devious Maids and was currently on the show Step Up High Water. What an irony there. Well, in the fight against COVID-19, Texas is hoping to avoid another record high of new daily infections. That next report due this afternoon. Yesterday, the state reported nearly 10,000 new cases, just a few dozen short of the record 10,028 cases reported the day before. Meanwhile, the weekly jobless report is showing some promise. The Labor Department reports 1.3 million Americans requested unemployment benefits last week. That number continues a downward trend of unemployment claims. That's the good bit of news. In all, nearly 50 million people have filed for unemployment since the pandemic stalled the economy back in March. Well, in Galveston, beaches will be open this weekend, but with less parking to prevent overcrowding. City officials just announced that beginning tomorrow morning, parking will be blocked on the north side between 25th and 37th Streets, as well as at Diamond Beach and Port San Jacinto. The parking will be restricted throughout the weekend, but again, the beaches will be open. Surveillance video from Illinois shows a hot air balloon making an emergency landing on a residential street. Don't see this very often. Now, nothing was wrong with the balloon. The pilot says one of his passengers got a little lightheaded, so he landed between these homes and called for an ambulance. Hello, I'd like to send an ambulance to a hot air balloon. I'd love to hear that call. The passenger was feeling fine by the time medics arrived on the scene and, in fact, even refused treatment after all of that. But firefighters say the pilot did a great job landing that massive balloon in such a tight spot. Again, I just can't imagine what the neighbors were saying as they watched that come down. Well, that's going to do it for the Midday. I'm Melanie Lawson. Have a great Thursday.